What is up, everybody? Wagme Capital here, coming at you on this Tuesday. As usual, we got SPY action, 5-minute chart. Let's get into it. So first of all, let's draw our levels on here. So we had 450 for calls, which was on here, and then we had puts 443.75. And let's, so if we zoom out, we can see kind of where these is coming from. So this 443.75, like, look here, we get a lot of good action right here, right? Like it breaks up and then it's like a magnet. It keeps pulling back down, pulling back down. So I like this level. And then obviously yesterday, that was kind of the low of yesterday. And then 450 has just been a crazy level. Like it's just, it gets real choppy around 450 because it can't make up its mind which way to go. And so I just like 450 as kind of like a key level to keep an eye on here. We had 453 is kind of like a more macro. It wasn't really in range today, but in general, we'll be keeping our eye on 453 as time progresses. Like we closed, that'll probably be my level for tomorrow. We're at 452 after hours. So those were my levels. And now let's get into how today went down. So here is our first candle. We opened basically where yesterday closed and pretty choppy for the first part of the day, right? Like this is kind of hard to like see any patterns. 5 red candles in a row, but not really any movement. Kind of wicky, opening and closing at the same place. Market can't really make up its mind. As soon as you think we're getting in a downtrend, boom, we recover, chopping. Then we get this inside, which means like market, consolidation, can't make up its mind. It's not going either way. Outside, it's like the opposite, huge swing, right? Like we drop below, then we rise all the way above, and then inside. So in this tiny little box here, we have a lot of traders. So like anyone that has traded or bought in these 15 minutes is in this range. So think of like how small of a range and how many traders that are. So if we break out of this range, there's a lot of traders that are going to be trapped. So think about it. This candle started up here, got down to here. So people are selling all the way down this wick. Then here, this same with this wick. And then same here, like we opened here and people are selling all the way down to the bottom of this wick. So there's a ton of sellers in here that if we break out of this range like we did, they're all going to be in the negative, in the red. They're going to be selling their positions to cut their losses, and it's going to just add to the buying pressure. And so that's what we see. Like this was like a pretty unique and interesting pattern. And so in the first hour or so of the day, like that was the only move I saw. Then you get into this uptrend, right? And so if we do something like this, we can see, and then, maybe during the day, it was something more like this. But anyways, we break out of this range and then we're moving into this uptrend, okay? And so I bought, so maybe, what was I looking at? Something more like, you could look at something more along the lines of this if you want. I actually got in late. I was like walking my dog during this first hour. So I got in, I saw this nice uptrend forming. Like this would have been a great place to buy. Let's do something more like this. This on this retrace would have been a great place to buy. So I bought on this green arrow. So this kind of like wick down. So at the time the candle was red because this wick down, it ended up closing above. But basically, like it's a great pattern. Like we see, like we did this yesterday. Let's do this again today. But we see this, right? Like up, sideways, up, sideways, up, right? So like just a clear uptrend here. Let's see if we can get these guys. Can you do this? Yeah. Okay. So that's the uptrend, right? And so we're trying to buy on these like little retracements or like retreats or whatever. So I bought on this one at the time. The candle was red, so I thought it was a little retreat, and then we ride it up. We start to see, so like you're riding the uptrend and you want to sell into momentum because like on big fat green candles, that's when like premiums are really gonna be at a high because like everyone's trying to buy them. But essentially we started out here, like these candles are big. Like if you look up here, this candle's moving 90 cents. This one's moving 73 cents. This one's moving 65 cents. Like these are big moves, okay? Like boom, we have a red, boom. Boom, we have a red, inside candle, boom. So here, like this tiny little candle tells me that like we're running into hesitation and this is 450 our key level. So to me, I'm like, okay, we're like sellers are getting beat right now. We have increased from, what is this? 445 to 450. We've gone up $5 in like half an hour or so. Sellers, where are you guys? They're all waiting at 450. So like candles start getting smaller. This is like a doji candle. This is like shooting star doji. Like they're just smaller candles. So I sold out here. 23% gains, not bad for like half an hour. And so on this like shooting star red candle, I actually entered into puts. I was like, I took a third of my normal position size because, okay, the trend is your friend. We're still moving up. We're still on this uptrend. You don't really like betting on a reversal is like high risk, high reward. Not worth it in my opinion. I'm not good enough trader to like, really like exactly call out the top. But I was like, hey, we're running into 450. It's a red candle. It's this like shooting star. It looks like a lot of selling pressure. So I just took a 1/3 position. I'm like looking for a home run on the chance like I catch the reversal right at the top. We bounce around. Eventually we kind of dip. I had a stop loss at break even here. So I ended up breaking even on this. But yeah, this was the move, like a hard uptrend, run into resistance at 450. Happy with my selling here, even though we did kind of continue up. Like I was like, hey, we're running into 450, 23% gains. We're looking good. Candle still is green, or I'm sorry, the EMA cloud, we're just riding it. It catches support here on the EMA cloud, even though it breaks the trend line. And 450 is just like a magnet. Like people are just like, we can't get around it. It's just so choppy here. But getting back to it, we break the trend line. We have an inside candle, which is like indecision in the cloud. So like consolidation, indecision. So this is like a reversal candle, like you see. In this case it is, but like again, inside means it didn't get above this high or below this low. So like traders don't know whether to go up or down. So it was reversing and then buyers step in, we're kind of even, and then buyers end up winning here. We break 450, get up to what, 451. And then this is like also kind of similar candle, right? But like a reverse the other way. So it's not inside, but like really small body. So it basically closed exactly where we opened. And it started here, it wicked up to here, and then sellers stepped in at 451.25 and pushed it back down. I entered puts here because we're kind of looking at like a downtrend from the top here. And so let's do this. So on this green arrow, I entered puts because I'm like, okay, trend reversed. We're heading down. This was just like a pretty clear downtrend. We get, again, like you just run into 450. Like I wish I would have sold here. That probably would have been 10, 15% gains. I was hoping for like the bottom to just fall out on my puts because like, hey, we break 450. Everyone's like, just a flush, but we get choppy around 450. I eventually break even here. Man, this 450 level is just tough to break through. A little push here after this inside candle, like this little zone of consolidation. Like once you get here and it's just chop city, like whichever way you break out, which is up, like you can see it get a little push because all these traders are trapped and you just get like a quick push. We get a downtrend here, outside, inside candle, like really interesting pattern. This would have been an outside, so you would have had outside, inside, outside. The coding on this indicator is weird, like, because right, this should have been, The tops are exactly the same. So it's technically not an outside candle. And then a push up, the last leg of the day. Like you definitely could have kind of played this like uptrend here. And then after hours, we're actually up. But that's kind of all the action I was seeing. Like there's just like you get in it, you have a quick push, and then you have a little bit of chop. Not chop, but just indecision, right? Like there's an outside, then an outside, then an inside, then basically an outside, outside. Like the market just doesn't know which way it wants to move. And it looks like it's flushing, like an outside candle. This drops all the way down here. You're like, oh man, here we go. But buyers step in, push it up, and then we just push into the last leg of the day. So that was what I was seeing today in SPY. And again, guys, like the key takeaway, look for these trend lines. This is the easiest time to buy. In these boxes, hard to buy. Like what moves are here for you to be made? These are like one candle at a time, right? Like if you played this, next candle up, then down, then up, then down, then up. Like you're only playing one candle at a time here, which at least for me, I'm just not equipped to do. I'm looking for these trends, buying when we touch. So like on this last push, don't FOMO into this green candle. Like when just these two candles are here, you don't know if it's going to be an uptrend. You're still in this little chop zone. We break above it. This is an hour's worth of trading from 11:25 to 12:05, 12:10, whatever. All the traders in here that are short. So look at this red candle. Traders selling from up here, selling from up here, selling from up here. Once we break out of this zone, like it's no surprise it's a quick push up because all these sellers are buying to cover their position. So you see a quick move. If you're playing this zone of consolidation, you break out, it has to be a quick move. This isn't going to send it into an uptrend for the rest of the day. Like it's just all these traders just quickly exiting. So take your profits here. But this would have been a good entry, right? On your retracement, up, retracement, up, retracement. Same with this, like up, retracement, up, retracement, up, retracement. Same here, down, retracement, down, retracement. Look for these trending markets. Do not get caught in the chop markets. These are hard to trade. Look at this market. Like I don't, unless you had a good key level here, I don't know how you're seeing this. These are really wicky. There's no clear indicators. Inside candle, this breaks above, right? The high. Is this an inside candle? The low. I guess this one broke below. So like, I mean, theoretically you could have the low. Inside candle break below, you could have played that. But like, look at these wicks. Like this, I mean, all of these are basically playing up here. So this market this was a tough period to trade. Then you get on this uptrend. Just the trend is your friend, man. Don't try to pick the top. Don't try to reverse. Just play the trend here. So that's what we got in SPY. Let's take a quick look and let's plot some of our levels here. So let's see how I typically do this. So let's zoom out to the daily chart if this will load. Sorry if you guys can hear my dog. Let's see here. Okay. So we are back. Actually, are we back? Let's get this back up. Okay, now we're back. Daily chart. So let's delete all this stuff. Okay, so let's draw some of our key levels. Sorry, let's just delete all this stuff. Okay. Okay, now let's get back to the daily chart. So what are we looking at? Like, what are some good levels here? So like this 450, my white lines are the weekly, white for weekly. So you can see here, reversal. This was the top at 453 here. And here we catch support here, we catch support here. So I like this 453 level. It might be a little close for tomorrow if we're opening at 452. right? But like this is the high, there's good support here. Like I just like this level a lot. As we go further back, let's see, did we catch it? Yeah, we catch it a little bit here. Like good resistance here. It's just a lot of touches resisting here. So I like this 453 level. And then let's see for our puts level, maybe we just keep the same. This is kind of low, probably a little too low. So what's the top here? Like if we catch the top of this, does that line up? A little bit. Like we're looking for trend reversals here, right? So like here, we're trending down and then it catches support here. And then we're seeing if this like lines up. Like, look, it's just really choppy here. So like, I don't love this level. There's some support here, you know, but it blows right past. Like here, it's just blowing right past. It's not really like being used as a support or resistance. So let's see. It's a pretty good level here. Good level here. Good level here. It's a little far away, so maybe we could push up. Like if we get a level here, okay, so I think I might like this one. Let's see, so this is like 448.25. Let's see here, like we're catching good support here, like a little hesitation here, good support here, or resistance, support here, hesitation, catching support, like resistance, like it's going up, catches it. This wick. Yeah, here it's good. Okay, so maybe 448.25, and then we'll stick with 453 for our levels tomorrow. But guys, these key levels, don't just play them blindly. Like if we break this, don't just like buy calls. You have to be looking at what the market's doing. This is just a key level. So like if we're in an up market, look for this place to be a level of resistance. So we might reverse here. Alternatively, like you might get a huge push up. Like if we break this, it's chopping around a little bit because there's a lot of buyers and sellers setting in because it's such a key level. Then, you know, if we break out of that consolidation, like you might see a huge push up like right here. So like, look at this level. This was 450.50, something like this. Like, okay, we're in an uptrending market. We hit here. There's some hesitation, like red candle, push up. Nope, blah, blah, blah. And then boom, once we get through, like a quick push up. So this wasn't a great example. It's only a quick 5-minute candle, but like that's kind of what we're talking about. So like right here, 451, like it's going up, it can't break, goes down, going up, can't break. And then once you break it, like boom, huge push up because you finally break it. And all these sellers that are selling here have to buy to cover and you just get upward buying pressure. So like that's what I'm talking about. With these key levels, like it's a place of action. They're like a magnet and there can be a big break either way. So just keep that in mind. But hopefully you guys learned something. Let me know if you guys like this video. We'll be back at it tomorrow.